Or if they don't decide not to go to college, it's a good down payment on a house or a payment for a house. Mm-hmm. But insurance is a very, very important instrument that we need in this society today.
Yeah, you're making me see it, how vital it is even more. I'm probably going to get you to.
We laugh about it, but if you, particularly if you're in church, in the church situation, mm-hmm. how many couples that you know, or how many individuals that you know that Pop passed, and we decided we found out that Pop didn't have no insurance. But the funeral, the average cost to bury you today, whether it's cremation or whatever, the industry is about $10,000. How embarrassing it is to pass around the hat to try to collect, or have the barbecue or the fish fry to raise money to put them away. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is where I'm talking about transparency. You yourself, as having the knowledge now, as a child, you got to ask mom and dad. You got insurance. It's not too late. It may be a little bit higher than you want to pay, but it's still cheaper than waiting to try to bury them for $10,000. You see what I'm saying? So there has to be a dialogue. There has to be transparency. And death comes at any age. We don't know it. We don't know that expiration date. We really don't. So we're not saying only a 40-year-old. Get one when you're 30. Get one as soon as you possibly can. Okay? The younger that you are, in my opinion, you get a policy that's going to have cash value accumulated.
What is the age for someone young that can get? Is it a certain age or?
Well, you could a newborn. You can okay. A newborn, all the way up. I mean, again, it's cost. Okay, and after you get over a certain age, there's certain guaranteed issue, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And a good example of guaranteed issue is when you're with a company. You normally don't get a doctor's exam or anything like that. It's normally done on the group. So they take everybody in sick, healthy and everything. So that's why it's basically called a guaranteed issue. And everybody, is insured. But when you're out and outside now, and the older that you get, all of us are coming down with something. Okay? And what the insurance companies do, particularly when it comes to insuring an older person, your medication. A lot of people don't even understand that till it hits them. The amount of medication that you take, it's a vital thing in your insurability of a person. Mm. Okay? So if you are one of those persons that like to run down to the doctor and get this and get that, trust me, it affects your insurability. Okay? And it's not like you can lie about it. Just like one of the questions on the questionnaire is, are you a smoker? Does it matter? Yeah. Your rates are a little bit cheaper if you're a non-smoker. You're going to put, so you're a smoker and you're going to answer no. Well, when they test, there's ways of testing to see if you've got nicotine in your system, Mm-hmm. So no, they're going to drop you right away or put you up on charges for misrepresentation or whatever, So, your habits, your health, your age, all that matters, So this is why I'm saying to most people, get it as young as you possibly can, because it's almost like a guaranteed issue deal. Plus the diseases and the different ailments have not onset as yet. Mm-hmm. And once you get it and you keep up with your premiums, you're in good shape.
I was thinking of when you was talking about how some of the people who have insurance are secretive. They don't tell you. And I thought about my dad. Right. He was born in 1920 something, and he passed away like 5 years ago. But we didn't know anything about his insurance, and we running around. Here we are already distraught that he's gone.
Right.
But then we had to face running around to try to find out
if he had insurance.
If he had his insurance, And then when we did, we thought, wow, he had insurance, but he stopped paying it at a certain time. Right. It was only for this. And so it was just like, thank God he was military. Right. But just the fact that you're saying it, I was thinking of, it's nothing more than just having a peace of mind.
Right. Exactly. And we as adults, we have to be conscious of that. It kind of, again, I go into a lot of homes and I talk to different people and everything like that. And people tell you they can't afford $20, $25 for, say, a final expense insurance. But still, you look at their phone, and they got all the gadgets on there. You look at, the TV. They got the Direct TV or the Spectrum or whatever, $100, $150, $200 plan or whatever, and you can't take $25 out towards a policy that's going to bring, like you said, peace of mind to those that you have left. It's ludicrous to me. Not only that, you have some people that also did get insurance years ago. Okay? Did get insurance years ago, but how much was that policy for?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Is it still in force? So this is why you have to bring it out and you have to review it. And sometimes, you're 60, 70, yeah, I'm going to be dead anyways. You're going to leave some people behind here that they have a responsibility now to bury you or whatever. Wouldn't you like to make it a little bit easier for them? So one of the things that I'm saying to you at this point, I think transparency is one of the biggest things that talk about it. Death is not an easy thing to talk about, okay? But having left or you have something in place for them and they don't know about it and they have to worry about that, no, it's ludicrous in my opinion. We're in that environment now that we should be transparent and talking about things of this nature. It's eventual. We're all going to die.
That's true.
We're all going to die. But it just makes it easier for everybody.
Could you explain a little bit more about when you said the insurance? Now we have the new kind of insurance where we have living.
Right. Living benefits, they call it. They call it living benefits. It's as I mentioned to you before years ago, and as I understand it now, I don't sell it myself, but I'm sure there's a few carriers, and I've read about a few carriers now that even have term life with living benefits within them. And again, the explanation of living benefits on a life insurance policy is basically the major three is critical, terminal, whereby if something happens on a terminal basis or a critical basis, that you could go in and get a portion of the face value of that policy while you're still living to help you, either take care of, medical equipment or a special van. Or, again, if it's a terminal situation, maybe you always wanted to go to Paris or Ada, Oklahoma. This gives you the monies or the wherewithal to do it. Maybe you have a terminal illness that because of FDA's regulation or whatever, you're not able to sort treatment or they're not able to do anything for you here in the United States. But maybe that treatment is in Mexico or is in Canada. Okay? This gives you the ability, the finances, to do whatever you need to, there's no limitation on what you're going to do with it. It's up to you. But at least it gives you the option now. I know if I'm dying, I'm going to try everything possible, whether it's here or in Jamaica, to see if it works. You understand what I'm saying? But if you don't have any money to do it, it's just a wish and a prayer. This gives you the ability to act on your wishes.
I think it's really good when you talk about how the insurance evolved, because before it didn't have all this, but now they're seeing that there are people who are getting more chronic illness and even family members. You can just fill out get insurance on them, and if the money, your own money, whatever runs out, you have this to take care of them. Right. And I think that again brings a peace of mind.
It is insurance, and in my opinion, the cost that you pay in premiums always outweigh what you're gonna get. And again, like I said, insurance, in my opinion, I talk to a lot of old timers. It's like, I ain't gonna be here. And a certain amount of selfishness. But with this new twist now, meaning if something really happens, you can really partake of that. You know what I mean? Of what's been accumulated, or you got insurance, or what you've been paying for. And a lot of people, it's possibly just one treatment away. Possibly, I've heard people, whether it's legal or what, I'm not advocating it, I'm just telling you what's out there. I know of people that have gone down to Mexico and have had different treatments or whatever, okay? And have come back and they've been cured, Not that we have bad, we have a system here in this country which you have to go through a process. Trial and everything like that. And sometimes we think it's very slow. So even if something is invented today, this year, it may be several years down the road before it gets on the market. You know, some people don't have those years, you know. So something like this gives you the opportunity of going now and getting, you know, seeking, you know, a cure, you know.
Well, why have you enjoyed selling insurance?
Well, I've been on the other end also. I've had family members that died without, you know, accumulation or any kind of benefits such as that. And I've known the hardship of people trying to raise money and the strain. And a lot of people don't talk about it, but, you know, how are you thinking about Daddy now that he didn't put things in place, you know, to help out, whereby, you know, he could have, you know, because there's certain things that, you know, final expense is not that expensive. You know, term life insurance is not that expensive. And it's planning, you know, and I think a lot of, I know years ago, my mother, you know, coming up, my father, my grandmother, that was something that they did. Yeah. You maybe went without a meal, but man, when that insurance man showed up on Saturday, they had that $10 or $11. You see what I'm saying? They knew the importance. But somehow along the way, it seems like we have lost that urgency. We have gotten, lack of a better term, we've gotten selfish. You know, we don't think about it. You know, if we're going to cut up, you know, you got the TV, you got the phone, and you got the insurance bill. Which one am I going to drop?
The TV and that phone.
You know what I mean? Most people are dropping, you know, dropping insurance.
Yeah.
But it's one of the more important ones that you need to hold on to, because if something happens, you got to, you know, you got to be covered, you know. And I'm not even touching on health insurance now. I mean, health insurance now has gotten so ridiculous. And I mean, a lot of people don't even understand that. And I certainly hope you have somebody on to explain that, because health insurance now is tied in with your taxes. They're going to make sure you pay. Okay? You know, it's so vital. Insurance is something that you got to get educated on. And it's a field that is very complex. You almost have to have somebody that's an expertise, you know, has that expertise in front of you to explain it a little bit more. And even though it's a little bit techie now that you can go online and get it and everything like that, I encourage you to call a local agent, have him come out, or you go and visit him in his office, have him explain to you what's going on. What are the different products that are out there? You know, what can I afford? But start somewhere. And not only that, develop that discipline that you're doing it so your kids will start doing it also, because it's very important. And, you know, like I said, death has no age. It can happen to any of us. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we got to be prepared for it.
That's true. What's an important life lesson you have learned that you can share with us?
Life lessons. Good Lord, you're good with those. Well, one of the things that I can reveal now, I remember when I was growing up, my mother had a saying, and it's so true. She used to say, try not to ask too many questions, because if you live long enough, you're going to find out for yourself. So family, one of the things that I found out, and, you know, they used to exhibit it and all that, one of the life lessons that I've learned is family is so, so important, you know. The other life lesson that I've learned is, if somebody has a beef with somebody else, whether it's your wife have a beef with whatever, mom or sister or whatever, stay out of it. Stay out of it, because you're going to put an emotional twist on it that you can't bring back. Because next week they're going to be making up, but you still did whatever and got in the middle of that. You know, so it's, if you live long enough, you'll find out for yourself. That's the big lesson. That.
Well, how can someone get in touch with you if they want to talk to you more about life insurance? Or
Again, it's John Perry. I represent several companies. My number here in Brevard County, Florida, 321-750-8800. I'm licensed in 13 different states, but willing to answer any questions that you may have. I don't have a website at this particular time here. We're getting one now because we're trying to get a website that will integrate all the things that I'm doing, because it does, you know, the wills, legal services, travel services, insurance, because it all comes full circle. You know, when I sit down with someone, I'd like them to know that I have a lot of knowledge beyond just Legal Shield or just beyond insurance. There's been a lot of life lessons there that I've got that I could, you know, exchange with them. But again,
So, can you share with us what's going on with your church?
In the church right now, to be quite honest with you, the church is in a turmoil. My church is in a